serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP 16, the news station.
Now, Frank Andrews, Marisa Peart, meteorologist Paul Hefner, and Jay Christopher Sports. This is Newswatch 16 Midday.
People all over northeastern and central Pennsylvania are saving some money today on the cost of home heating oil. The Governor's Energy Council says heating oil prices continue to drop. One example is the dealer in Montrose. He says back in 1984, heating oil sold for $1.27 a gallon. Now, down to 92 cents a gallon. The reason? The glut of oil on the world market. People are also saving some money at the gas pump today, with the price of crude oil down to about $12 a barrel. Some stations are passing the savings on to you and I. One station in Dunmore that we found is now selling regular gas at less than 90 cents a gallon. That's the lowest price for them in almost a decade. You may also see some lower gas prices translate into savings at the store. That's because the price truckers pay for diesel fuel to haul goods to market is also down. Newswatch 16's Bob Reynolds explains now from Wayne County. You could feel the effects of the low diesel prices soon.
This restaurant in Sterling Township is serving up more food these days. The restaurant is part of a truck stop in Wayne County. Its owners say plummeting fuel prices are great news.
The more fuel we pump, the busier the restaurant is, the more everything goes. Okay, the fuel price is way high. We make more money on a gallon of fuel. We're losing money everywhere else.
The price of diesel fuel in our area is about 99 cents a gallon, but it's actually cheaper in other states.
Yeah, the Midwest, in Missouri, it's 74 cents, cheap as I have been.
Those who own their own trucks hope the falling fuel prices will mean more money for them.
Well, it helps us make a little more on the profit side. It, it gives you a little less expenses on the road. You can make a little more.
Other truckers who work for companies aren't sure the drop in fuel prices will be passed along to them.
Because I think once the price of diesel fuel go down, I think the rates will go down. That's how competitive it is out here, really.
Because it's now costing truckers less to haul goods across the country, you may be asking, will that mean it'll be cheaper for you to buy things in the store? Officials we talked to say that just may happen, but when, no one's really sure. Bob Reynolds, Newswatch 16, Wayne County.
And Newswatch 16 Midday continues in a moment with a plan to eliminate the federal deficit through the use of forgiveness. And also some brighter, sharper pictures of Harry's comet than have ever been seen before, sent back by a Soviet satellite. Newswatch 16 Midday continues in a moment.
Lovers, you'll love the money-saving six-pack of bright and lively low-fat yogurt. So smooth, creamy, fruity, and delicious.
So stock a stack, get the snack. Oh, the handy, dandy, lively six-pack.
Since 1896, Kaplan Furniture of Scranton has been delivering quality furniture into northeastern Pennsylvania's homes. Kaplan still stands out as a star above the rest. Relax to the max on a Lazy Boy. This Lazy Boy recliner is just one of the many Lazy Boy styles at Kaplan. All 25% off the national suggested list price. See why everyone relaxes to the max on a Lazy Boy. Kaplan Furniture Company of Scranton, a star above the rest.
There is a proposal before lawmakers in Washington today that could wipe out the federal deficit in a year. And all it would take is a little bit of forgiveness. As ABC's Ann Compton explains now, federal officials say amnesty on back taxes could bring in a windfall of money to the U.S. Treasury.
So the department's cracking down hard on tax cheats.
States which are starved for money are cracking down hard on the tax gap, determined to collect billions of dollars owed in taxes but not paid.
Cheating on your taxes can cost you a bundle.
Ads like this one in Massachusetts are the stick end of a carrot and stick experiment at 18 states. Citizens who owe back taxes and face big fines and possible jail terms are encouraged to pay up voluntarily during a one-time tax amnesty. Success stories have whetted the appetite here in Washington, where Congress is ready to put the federal budget on a starvation diet.
Amnesty would say to tax delinquents, come out, put your cash on the table, or else we're coming in to get you.
It's difficult to tell how much money is at stake. Congress has been told that in 1 year the government could rake in $7 billion. There is no doubt the tax gap is awesome. In the last 6 years, $600 billion has gone uncollected. That's 3 times the size of the budget deficit. There is opposition which claims amnesty did not work when the last effort ended back in the early 1950s.
It led to a lot of corruption within the and uneven administration of the tax law.
It tells the honest taxpayers, the vast majority of the people of the United States, that they're suckers.
There are other tax options on the table, but most of those have firm lobbies against them. There is no lobby for tax evaders, so tax amnesty is a particularly appealing choice for Congress this year. Ann Compton, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
Our Weather Watch forecast coming up next. Paul having to keep track of the snow all day. Where is it now, Paul?
It's coming. The first few flakes are out there right now, but the steady stuff is still out across central Pennsylvania. And the bottom line on the storm is this. The longer we wait, the less we get. And I'll show you the latest radar and the accumulation chart coming right up. More details to follow from the backyard.
It's Reliable Furniture's first anniversary in their beautiful new home furnishing center. And they're celebrating with a winter sale. Save 10 to 50% throughout the store. Save in the Ethan Allen Gallery and Drexel Heritage Gallery. Save on Lazy Boy chairs in the Relaxation Gallery. Save on King Coil in Reliable's Bed Quarters. Save on Karastan carpeting, beautiful home accessories, and more. At Reliable, your center for fine home furnishings. Now with 10 to 50% off throughout the store. Well, I know we've been talking about the snow all day, so we'll go right out to the backyard for the details. Paul, what can you tell us?
Okay, Frank, well, the first flakes are now falling out here, but I think that the brunt of the storm, as we mentioned early this morning, is still going to be to the north of the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton metropolitan region, and that means that we are going to get away, I wouldn't say scot-free, but we'll get away with just a light amount. Let's check in with the weather watchers. We have lots of information for you at this midday hour, and first we'll start out in State College, and Bill Geelan has 31 degrees, some light snow flurries out that way. Carl Moyer from Slatington reports cloudy skies, 36 degrees. And Lake Birkenstock from Winfield in Union County is a bit warmer, a snow flurry, and 44. That temperature will still be dropping during the afternoon as the snow starts out there. The snow is starting here in the backyard, and our temperature is 38 degrees. The relative humidity around 54%. And there's that wind south at 9 miles per hour, but it is increasing as we go on during the afternoon, getting up to 15 to 20. As the afternoon progresses, the barometer is falling. Okay, let's go to the computer. Now, the precipitation pattern around the storm changes depending on what part of the storm you're in. Here's a warm front, the low pressure center, and the cold front. Generally speaking, the light to moderate amounts are around the fringes of the storm. However, the heaviest precipitation is north and west of the storm center. And that's the case that we're looking at with this storm. Most of its precipitation has been to the north. Well, where is Pennsylvania? As we find out, we are here in this warm sector. That means that the brunt of the precipitation from the storm will stay to our north. Here's the latest satellite picture, and it shows it very graphically. The low-pressure center over by Erie. You can see that the brightest clouds are to the north of us. Let me step over here and show it to you. They're up across Vermont, New York State, northern Ohio, and into Michigan. And some places out here have had anywhere from 1 to 4 inches of snow. 3 inches reported in Detroit, about the same amount in Cleveland down to Youngstown, Ohio. And the brunt of the storm is going to stay to the north. Now, here is the latest radar showing that snow up to our north. There it is, Rochester. Out to the west, now snowing moderately across portions of northwestern Pennsylvania. However, that is going to shift off to the north. Most of this stuff over here is light. And again, it'll start at any time during the afternoon here in the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton region out through the Poconos, but the amounts are going to be light. We'll check that out in just a second. The forecast for this afternoon, not much snow. Temperature-wise, into the upper 30s in Harvey's Lake, Blossburg 37 degrees, 43 in Nazareth. Readings are going to be in the mid to upper 30s out across the central counties. Okay, here are the snowfall amounts for you. Looks as though less than an inch on the ground by midnight across our area here, down through the valleys, across, Monroe County down there, out through Williamsport. 1 to 2 inches on the ground in State College. The rain snow line cuts through Pottsville and down through Allentown. Now, the highest amounts, I think, will be up in Tioga County, 2 to 3 inches up there, 1 to 2 inches across most of northeastern Pennsylvania in the high terrain of Wayne County. Okay, this afternoon, snow, 39 degrees. Flurries for tonight. Temperatures are really going to take a dive later on tonight as that wind picks up, shifting into the northwest. 21 tomorrow morning, but the temperature tomorrow will not be going up. It will be going down. We have a biting wind at 30 to 35 miles per hour tomorrow. The temperature by dinner time will be 15 degrees, but the wind chill temperature is going to approach 20 below zero tomorrow afternoon. It means frostbite danger. So indeed, a very cold start. But look at this. It warms up rapidly on Saturday and Sunday. Frank, Tom Clark will have more details at 6 p.m.
We appreciate that. Thank you very much, Paul. Well, Bradley's 22-game winning streak was cut short last night by the tough-playing Tulsa team. We'll have game highlights and the rest of the sports next on Newswatch 16 Midday.
Here is an income tax tip from Unclaimed Freight. If you're expecting a refund, you don't have to wait till you get your check to buy the furniture you need now. Get to Unclaimed Freight for their sensational $2 million buyout sale. Select the furniture you want now at 40 to 70% savings, and Unclaimed Freight will hold it until your refund check arrives. So why wait? Get to Unclaimed Freight. It's great.
Time to brighten up your home or office at half the price. Now at Acme, all plants and plant accessories are half price. Pick up hanging plants like pothos and ferns, potted plants like jade, mums, and palms. Plus, half price on all traditional and contemporary photo frames, frame pictures, and poster art. But hurry, you have only 72 hours this Thursday through Saturday to get half price on all plants and plant accessories and half price on all photo frames and frame pictures at Acme.
Paul may be talking about snow. You're talking baseball, aren't you? Yeah. That's optimism.
That time of year. Thanks, Frank. Hello again, everybody. Today's the day baseball diehards have been waiting for. It's the semi-official start of the 1986 Major League Baseball season. The Grapefruit League opener takes place today at Lakeland, Florida. It'll be the Detroit Tigers playing the Chicago White Sox. Now, tomorrow, spring training exhibition season rolls into high gear with 4 Grapefruit League games scheduled in Florida and 6 games in the Cactus League in Arizona. And next week, Sports Watch 16's Tim Carlson will be in Clearwater, Florida for a full week of reports here on Channel 16. The Phillies, the Yankees, the Mets, and some other ball clubs as well. The nation's longest winning streak ended overnight as the Golden Tornadoes of Tulsa shocked 9th-ranked Bradley 74-58. Bradley had won 22 straight until last night. Tulsa pulled away early in the second half with Brian Riley on the rebound here and later David Moss driving down court for this basket as the hopes of the Bradley Braves begin to crumble. Their big man, Hersey Hawkins, had only a few bright moments as Tulsa goes on to whip Bradley 74-58. The win puts them in the NCAA playoffs later this month. In the Big Ten Conference, Indiana burned Michigan State 97-79. The Hoosiers were led by All-American Steve Alford, who pumped in 31. Michigan State tried to keep pace with the Hoosiers with the sharp shooting of Scott Skiles, who hit for a game-high 33. Indiana, who needed the victory to stay on top of the Big Ten Conference, countered with Alfred's hot hand right there. They also got some help from freshman Rick Callaway. He got hot down the stretch. Indiana goes on to an easy 97-79 win over Michigan State. More playoff games in high school basketball overnight. In a District 11 battle played at Marsh Hall in Pottsville, Panther Valley ambushed Northern Lehigh 52-45 to advance to Saturday's finals in Class AA. Panther Valley is the top-ranked team on the Super 16 list this week. Panther Valley hit the ring early as Gary Carnish goes all the way on that short jumper. Northern Lehigh then takes a 1-point lead on this 15-footer by Jeff Hausman. Later, Carnish again from half court slices through some heavy traffic for the bucket. If Northern Lehigh plays tough, they go up by 3 as Hausman gets the good bounce on this shot. But it was the night of the Panthers. Here's a good power move by Jim Mikovich for a couple. They begin to pull away and take the victory 52-45. In another game played at Marsh Hall, Marion Catholic rolled by Bishop Hasty 57-47. They, too, advanced to District 11 Class AA playoffs. Both clubs played even basketball in the first half, matching bucket for bucket. Then, in the second half, Marion Catholic began to move out. The Colts went up by 8 points on this layup by Bob Agosti. Hasty cut the lead to 6 points, rather, as Brian Barilla hit from 15 feet out. Marion fired back. They go to Pat Morgan, a neat drive here, the layup for a couple. Then Agosti again gets the corner shot, and he lets loose. That's about a 20-footer, and he hits. More icing on the cake. Agosti again from the baseline as Marion Catholic beats Bishop Hasty 57-47. NBA overnight, Dominique Wilkins poured in 37 points as Atlanta topped the Sixers 122-114 in overtime. The Hawks have now won 7 of their last 8. The Sixers looked good early. Here, Dr. J operated early on the Hawks with a steal, and then he eased on down for a couple. The Sixers extended the lead to 10 points in the second when Bobby Jones gets 2 on this neat reverse layup. And Tadale Slate, well, he came off the bench to score 13 in the first half. But regulation time ended, tied at 108. But the overtime belonged to the Hawks. Randy Whitman scored a basket here, up by 3, and Dominique Wilkins gets 2 of his game-high 37 points. Atlanta wins it in OT, 122-114. And that's the afternoon's Sports Watch. Thank you very much, Dave. Newswatch 16 Midday continues in a moment with some of the most spectacular pictures in history of a heavenly sight once thought to be an evil omen. Halley's Comet, when Newswatch 16 Midday returns.
The Eason Winter Sale is now in progress at Carriage House Clark Summit and Reliable Furniture Williamsport. Be captivated gazing on naked grandeur where there's nothing else to gaze on. Mountains huge to heaven as it once was and still is. Be captivated by the West. It's calling you. Grow bigger in the bigness of Wyoming. Cowboys whisper on the night wind their fire agleam to warm, and Wyoming is calling. Be captivated.
And finally today, some of the best pictures ever of Halley's Comet. The pictures are beamed back to Earth live this morning by a Russian satellite that got pretty close to the comet. And as ABC's Walter Rogers explains now, the photographs got scientists around the world pretty excited.
These first computer-enhanced pictures of Halley's Comet received in Moscow showed what appeared to be a psychedelic fried egg. Although a team of international scientists gathered at the Soviet Space Research Institute pronounced the artificially colored pictures fantastic.
The sense of discovery is very high. The feelings are very high. People are very proud of this accomplishment.
This Russian Vega 1 spacecraft is now flying within 6,000 miles of the legendary Halley's Comet and has entered the comet's coma, sending back pictures of the shimmering cloud of gas and dust given off by the comet. In all, a fleet of 5 spacecraft are flying this intercept mission, trying to gather scientific data on the comet, which swings past the sun and Earth but once every 76 years. It is the composition of this heavenly phenomenon that most fascinates scientists who believe that the dust particles and other elements that make up the comet have been floating around unchanged since the beginning of our solar system. But perhaps the most exciting information will come from the European Giotto probe, which is flying closest to the comet and is expected to come within 300 miles of the nucleus. It's hoped Giotto will send back pictures unlocking the mysteries of the comet's icy core, never before seen by man. Walter Rogers, ABC News, Moscow.
And that's all we have time for Newswatch 16 Midday. For the crew and Marisa Burke on assignment in Wilkes-Barre, have a good afternoon, everyone.